Show on ELBC Radio with me, Vafli Kamara. Uh, so I have with me as my guest Mr. Eddie Howe. He's the Assistant Commissioner for Government and Non-for-Profit Division at the Liberia Revenue Authority. Mr. Harrison Dawolo, the County Education Officer at the Ministry of Education. J. Yuma Smith, Head of Internal Audit at WIEC Liberia, and J. Maxim Blyton, the Director of Communications to Public Relations uh, at the Ministry of Education. And today we're going to be talking about enforcement of school registration, submission of tax clearance certificate, and operational permit for candidates of WIEC registration. Gentlemen, I'd like to say good morning and welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I think you can just hit your button there.
You're rare.
Yeah, great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So let me start with, I think I can start with you, Commissioner. What is the basic concept of the enforcement exercise that we are about to talk about?
So, the four stakeholders you see here, we all have the same denominator, the educational sector. So, we operate individually and collectively as well. The LRA is responsible to enforce taxes. Ministry of Education is the regulator, and WIA is also a regulator.
Okay.
So over the years, we've been engaging the schools individually. And just last year, we thought it wise, we said, since we all have the same denominator, why can't we collaborate our engagement exercises so to avoid and those subjecting the schools to compliance fatigue. So we developed and established an MOU that enables the all stakeholders to work together. That's the basis for we are here.
And the stakeholders include WIEC,
WIA, Ministry of Education, and the LRA.
LRA. Okay, so maybe we'll come to the defining roles each play, but you want to add, is it Mr. Dawolo?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having the Ministry of Education to be in studio this morning with our very colleague to speak on this important issue. All the issues of school permit and enforcement is intersectorial approach. As we speak, as you heard from Mr. Hammer, that these institutions ensure that this policy is ensured to have government be able to collect its fiscal, funds to see how they can fund government developmental issues. Like you say, Ministry of Education, which is regulated and which we are there to ensure that all schools that are under the supervisory arm of the ministry should pay these permit fees to the revenue arm of LRA and in collaborations from WIEC and also from the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. So we are grateful that we are here this morning to be able to speak on how important it is about this permit process.
Okay. So let me hear from you, Mr. Smith from WIEC Angle,
Okay,
before I come to Massam.
thank you so much. While being one of the partners in this particular MOU arrangement, our role is to ensure the permit that come from the Ministry of Education that being issued to the schools and the LRA tax certificate clearing valid are submitted to us and verified to ensure before your school can register for the exam.
Okay. Great, Mr. Blyton. Let's hear from you before I come back to the commissioner.
You see, the issue of the permit is major and it's very crucial. And school administrators need to take into consideration you do operate a school in a country and in part of the world without being in compliance with regulations and protocols. So we want them to be reminded that this issue is serious. And we are going all out to make sure that school in full compliance to pay the operational permit. And you can pay and also renew. So it's done annually. This is why we are here to create awareness so that our partners, school administrators, education stakeholders, should be in full compliance.
Okay. Commissioner Howe, was there a reason for this innovation, getting all parties involved and ensuring that NRA collects directly its taxes as regards the permit through this medium?
So over the year, the LRA compliance program is risk based, right?
Yeah.
So we've conducted some risks, and we've come to the conclusion that we have over prior to the signing of this MOU, we have over 4,000 plus private and faith-based schools operating in Monserrate that have not, even had a single business registration, right? So we thought working with other stakeholders like MOE and WIRE, it will grant us a wider platform that will grant us a wider coverage to engage these schools. For a school to operate, I mean, any business for that matter, you have to have a business registration, which is the legal document that grants you that permit to operate. And then they go to Ministry of Education to get the permit to operate as a school. But if a business, for the main fact that that business does not have a business registration, I mean, it's just a fact that they have not been paying taxes. And right now, the country is experiencing donor fatigue.
Okay.
So there's more weight on the collection of domestic resources. So we thought, working with our partners, we should be able to achieve that goal.
And
Yeah.
find-
Moving the collection to billions.
And find new ways to do that.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, so let me come to the county education officer, Mr. Dawolo. I mean, what kind of role can maybe Mr. Blayton can add to that? Can the Ministry of Education play in ensuring that effective payment of permits through the NRA?
Thank you. We played a major role, a cardinal role again, because we are the regulators. We are the one who supervises these schools. And we ensure that these schools being compliant with the policies of permitting. So our role is cardinal. Because we know the number of schools and we interact with them. So we ensure that they meet up with the guideline and they should also meet up with the pathway in getting that permit. Because it emanates from our end before it goes to LRA.
Okay.
Okay? We ensure that the DO, because if a school, there are two different types. We have a new school to be established, and we have the renewable aspect, which is every year.
Okay.
If a new school is to be established, they have to apply it through the office of a DO to the CEO.
Okay.
And there are checklists that they should be able to meet up with. And these checklists, on the checklist we have that the school first of all applied, that they intending to have a school to open the school. And then from there, we have the school administrations haven't received such of communications and then request, then we send in the policy, what it takes to be able to establish and what are the various activities to follow. And the DO then now receive those documents, which have to do with the school administrations, and the teachers document. And then they also have to make sure they fill uniform concerning the school facility, and then follow up to do an inspection at the school facility to see that whether it has an environment for an educational programs. And when all of these are done, which is a very long checklist, and when all of these documents meet our standard, then now we prepare their document and prepare then the budget and send them to LRA to pay. And when they pay, then they come to us with the budget, with the receipt from LRA, and then we attach that receipt and then forward the documents to the central ministry where their certificate will be prepared.
Okay.
That school to be a new school for establishment.
Okay.
Then we have every year where the school should be able to renew their permit, and we look at those categories as well. First of all, maybe there was a change in administrations or teachers, you still send the list. But however, these schools go to, they first of all get their liberal business revenue certificate, article incorporations, and then they even go to NASCA because these schools are to pay taxes. The teachers who are teaching at the private school, they have to be able to pay taxes to the Liberian government. So, and it's through the payment that the taxes are remitted.
Okay.
So all of the documents, when they are okay, then now we just attach and send it to the central office, and there's a department that is responsible for preparing a certificate and then issue them their certificate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Blayton, you want to add?
Yeah, quite frankly, we are very essential when it comes to implementing this program, this collaboration. The reason is simple. We have the schools. We are in charge. We know the schools that are qualified up to standard, because when we send you a voucher, that school is already qualified. That's the reason why we send you a voucher. So when school is not qualified, we're not going to say that school is. No. So when you are qualified, and there are categories of schools. You get the preschool, we call them early childhood education, the lower basic education, the upper basic education. We have teacher training. We also have vocational and professional institution. We got people in the ministry that are well situated, educated up to the tax to give you the operational permit, but there's processes. The processes have to be met in accordance to the regulations from the Ministry of Education. So when you got your receipt from LRA, as rightly the CEO just stated, when you pass through all the protocols, you gave her the photo of the school, your intent, the letter of intent, you go through the DEO, the CEO, and when you are certified, they give us those documentations. Then, of course, they receive from LRA, they give it to us. You either go to the early childhood assistant minister, then they give you the operational permit, or you go to basic and secondary education, finish your diploma, or you go to Mr. Dougley, who is the assistant minister for technical and vocational education, or you also go to the assistant minister for teacher education to also give you your operational permit. That way ensure that you are accredited, you are recognized by the Ministry of Education. You can now operate in this country as an institution that is known by the Ministry of Education. If you cannot do that, you are operating illegally. And I just want to sound this warning out. You can't be operating in a country with only one student registration or tuition. For instance, you operate in an international school, you say from 2,000 to 6,000. We say pay only 2,000 for your operational permit, just a single student. You can't pay that.
Okay.
Then you want to benefit from this government, you don't do that.
Okay.
Nowhere in the world you operate without paying your due or your tax to government. That money will ensure the revenue authority to build schools, to build the roads, to give you medication, to pay and civil servant, and to make the country more conducive. The social deliverables will be given to our people. So if you're operating a school in Liberia or any institution that is not accredited, you need to rush now to the DU office to regularize your status.
Okay, before we come to you, Mr. Smith, let's just announce that this show is being relayed on Voice of Liberia 104.1 and Joy FM 101.5. Now, from the angle of WAEC Liberia, Mr. Smith, tell us, how are you working with, candidates, to channel their payment through LRA?
Okay. So, as I said from the previous state, we are one of the partners in this MOU. Our role is to, as the other guys already said, WAEC look at document from the Ministry of Education, letter from the Ministry of Education recognizing those schools that they permit, they submit.
Okay.
They come to us with a document. And that document we look for is the LRA tax clearing that qualify you to be admitted for the examination. So our role is just to ensure that before verify before we admit you to register your school to be allowed to be given the exam, we will make sure that you meet all the requirements LRA just talk about, MOE just talk about. So our role is to ensure what I just talked about, to be ensuring that these things are all intact and they are all valid.
To okay the candidates.
Okay, to candidate to enter the school candidates.
Okay.
That's our role.
Now, Commissioner, how practically? Let's look at the practical steps to ensuring that you are clear with permit. Just give us, those steps.
So, the sector education qualifies under the non-for-profit charity. So on that basis, the school, the enterprise does not pay taxes.
Okay.
So, but also the school or the school owners and the employer have the responsibility to withhold taxes from their teachers. That responsibility has been passed on to them by the law. And so every school must have a current business registration. And then under the law also, when you withhold taxes, you are required to remit those taxes because they are other people's money, right? So in the remittance of those taxes, we have what we call a tax return. It's just a standard form where you place the name of the school, the tax identification number, and that money that you are remitting, and the payees, those people that have those amounts. Because at the end of the day, those people have the right to claim those credits. So every school has that responsibility once you withhold from the teachers to remit and file that return. And the return is just like a declaration, it's self-assessment. This is what I owe government, and then you do the payment.
Okay.
So for a fact that salaries are paid every month, so you have that responsibility every month when you're making a payment to your teachers to withhold. And then remit that amount almost by the 10th of the following month. Anything beyond the 10th of the following month, it comes in late, it comes with penalty and interest charges. So I'm also encouraging people to make sure they file in time and pay in time to avoid unnecessary payment. So the fact that you have a current business registration and then you've been filing and paying your teachers' salaries and current permit from Ministry of Education, then you go online. We have it so easy. You go online, you apply. It's seamless. You don't have to even come to the LRA here. You go to our website, www.lra.ngov.lr, and then you see e-tax clearance, electronic, E stand for electronic. You go there and then tap on it, it opens, and you just put in your tax identification number. It's a 9-digit number that every registered taxpayer has, whether it's profit or not-for-profit. Once you put that number, every information that is within our system internally pops up, and then you apply for the tax clearance. And then we have compliance officers who do the review. And once you met the minimum requirement, we send that through, make sure you also have a valid email, and then we send that to you. And what we also done over the period is we have categorized taxpayers into green, yellow, and red. Green signify, good compliance. Yellow, they are there and they're trying to get to green. They are trying their best. Maybe they have some small gaps. And red are those ones that are totally not compliant, right? So for those taxpayers that are even in the green category, we don't even wait for them to apply. And I can give you instances like Heritage, there's a school, Ford, Maiden, Baptist, this Baptist school somewhere,
Effort.
yeah, Effort Baptist, and this other school, this Asa Davis,
Asa.
just to give you a few. Those schools are so compliant. We call them president. We don't even wait for them to apply. Call them, say, come for your tax clearance. Tax clearance is an entitlement. You don't have to pay a cent. Just meet the minimum requirement. File your teacher's salaries. Pay those salaries. Even if you don't have the salary to pay, once you file, we can even come and grant you an installment to pay over a period of time. So we're just trying our best to make the process
So
easy.
LRA is
Yeah.
playing. It's like the implementer here. It's not the So the enforcement, the responsibility for enforcement falls on the shoulder of the Ministry of Education.
No, the enforcement is joint in a sense. Like what we're doing here, we've been proactive. That's part of our enforcement to educate the public, right? And then also in January, we're going to have a physical joint enforcement where we have people playing down the field, MOE, WIAC. We have done that over the
carry
period.
inspection?
Yes. But
Yeah.
before then, we want to provide massive awareness to the taxpayers with the view that they will come forward voluntarily. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what we're doing here? We are telling those who are in violation. Maybe you're dragging your feet. This is the time we are just creating the awareness. Come January, we will be on the field. You will see us face to face, vis-a-vis. If you not comply, you will complain. But this is the time we speak to your intelligence as professional and educated people who stand for quality education, people who are respectable to be in full compliance. Don't wait until we reach to your door and lock it up. You must not come forward. Just one student, be in compliance. Now, it is renewable. So if you operating elementary and you go into junior high, you got to also be in compliance to apply for junior high operational permit. When you are still on elementary and we notice that you cheating government, you have yourself to be blamed. So right now we've been taking almost 3 months, Mr. Howard, 3 months, right?
Yeah,
3 months awareness to speak to the intelligence, the mind to create the awareness of all of our partners. We know they are intelligent, they are civilized, they are sophisticated, brilliant, people who are cooperated so they can be online.
Okay, so Mr. Smith, how I mean, what are the category of schools, that are required to pay to submit a TCC during the WIAG registration for candidates?
Only government school are exempted.
Okay.
And so let me use this video again to say the registration for WIAG has started. We want to call upon all schools in the Republic of Liberia, especially the Mosovado County and other counties that we visited before. The registration has started. Go to MOE, obtain your permit, go to LRA, obtain your tax clearing, and you proceed to WIAG to register your school.
Yeah, I mean, just to add on to what my colleagues have said, as we speak right now, we have the window opened.
Okay.
The window was opened for renewal since August, and it closes by December. And after December, there will be a late fee. And let's say this, let us not wait till they say window close before we be part of it. Like you just heard, WIAG registration is ongoing. For all of our private and faith-based and mission schools that have not renewed their permit for the academic year, which is 2022-2023, they should be having that ready right now. Even though there are a lot of schools tripping to our offices, and then we are sending the folder over to the ministry, which we appreciate their cooperations. There are a lot of schools that are in compliance right now. But notwithstanding, we will still have to enforce, we still have to go out to ensure that all of them meet up to what is planned. And as we speak, the data, there are a lot of things that are considered. As we speak right now, the Ministry of Education is doing a census. And these are documented acts, doing the census, data collection. Does the school, have a permit? And those things will be shown. So at the end of the day, we'll know how many of our schools in Liberia are paying taxes to government. Okay? You know that government have to be able to accrue revenues in order to augment or come out to do whole programs. So based on that, we will be able to work with our various schools. And let's be frank, just as Mr. Beaton said, there are some who actually are reluctant, but we are enforcing them. And for example, there was a statement for the last academic year. For this there was some school that carried on violation where they never waited for WIAG, results, and they carried on commencement. And it was clear that if said school carry on, it means that you will not be able to write WIAG for this academic year. What happened? They came to their knees and they were able to apologize, and that was done. This gone school year that just ended, you couldn't find any school that ever put up graduation before the results. All of them waited because that was amended. So when we stand together as an intersectorial team, they feed the weight of the programs. And at the end of the day, look, we will be able to enjoy what we pay for as a citizen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me use this video again to inform all schools and parents. The fees that are being charged by WIAG, there's always a complaint, always that the school authority normally carry the fees. Even the Ministry of Education can attest to that.
Okay.
We use
We'll
the
talk about
media
that.
again. The MOE has released a calendar 18 years.
It mentioned inside.
The information is mentioned. let the parents take responsibility in their own hands and be able to verify this information. For example, our ninth grade, we call it Liberia Junior High Certificate exam, is $5,000 Liberian dollars. The Liberia Primary is 2,000. The third grade we call Liberia National exam is 1,000. Let people be able to relate what to the
You
fees.
got to mention the processing fee, because I think people are also adding additional money for processing fee. If you have any information on processing fee, please let them know also.
No, we don't. Wire don't charge processing fees. It's done in the school.
Yeah, it's a school that asks for, because the school have to submit the photo of the students. So in order, I think in our payment we have 150 Liberian dollars.
So that is what I want to emphasize on this morning. School authority in the Republic of Liberia, you are taking money from people that are not approved by the Ministry of Education. It's $1 US. $1 US when you convert is $150 LD. So you charging people $500 for processing fee. Why you will be wicked at that?
So the sanction, the approved
The
processing
approved
fee
processing
is
fee
150.
is $150 LD, which is $1 US.
So in total is 1,150.
Good.
You
For
know, I mean,
third grade,
yeah.
for third grade, 1,000 for the
third
exam, then $150 LD for the processing fee. For sixth grade, 2,000 is the exam. The processing fee is $150 LD. For ninth grade, 5,000 is the exam. For processing fee is $150 LD. Nothing more than that. And some people are charging $500. Subtract $150 from $500. You get the additional
So, but if you
money
know,
like that.
if you know that schools are doing that, then why you can't go after them?
No. This is why we're creating awareness now. We don't want
But you
people
have
to
the
see-
information.
No, nobody giving us the information.
But
now.
you say
We are-
$500.
No, we just hear that as a rumors.
Okay.
Yeah, but we just signed the warning up there for now
Okay.
that you, the school administrator, please be in compliance. Stop taking money that is not approved by the ministry.
Okay,
Don't
let's
do
hear
that
you,
to
Mr.
the
Smith.
students.
Let's hear you, Mr.
The
Smith.
parents are struggling already, man.
Yeah, so it behooves the Ministry of Education and to go after pending laws of school, as you said, they are in violation in terms of charging over fees that is not supposed to charge. And another thing, the 12th grader, which you call the WAS students, they don't pay anything.
Anything.
The Liberian government is paying for them. Let me that clear, because we receive a report, I think MOE can attest with that too. Those schools, those very, very schools can be charging the students. What the government is paying is free, they also charging them. But you know, in Liberia, we have to take destiny in our own hand. We already know the thing is free.
No, but let them know that
So-
for those schools,
Yeah.
I think they are paying the $150 students from those various high school because they have to
Yeah.
process their photo.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Commissioner
LD.
Howard wants to
So,
add-
so for the fact that government is paying the WAS fees for all 12th graders, the need to collect taxes cannot be overstressed. Where does government get money from to pay for
pay.
those fees? It's the very same taxes
The
we're
same
talking
tax
about.
we collect.
So that's why you see we on the air, we're going from school to school and then to do this enforcement, because the parents, more like, we want to put some level of pressure on them, right? To put that pressure also on the school. If my child benefits from government, and government pays my child 12, WAS fee,
WAS fee.
why should the school charge me a
So,
little
so,
fee?
so
money?
in essence,
Yeah.
I want to know, are schools physically collecting WAS or WAEC fees from students?
No, listen now. You know,
Because
let me
in
tell you something.
essence, Mr. Smith, the only fee that schools supposed to collect from students is 150.
No,
Let
I
me-
come in.
no,
Let me
How-
clarify.
how-
Let me-
how
let
is the
me
government-
clarify.
how
Let me
is the
clarify.
government paying
Let me
the WAS
clarify.
fees? Let's find out.
Let me clarify.
How is the
For
government paying
12
the WAS
graders,
fees?
for 12 graders in the Republic of Liberia, both public and private schools, they're not paying anything beside the 150 LD.
Okay.
It's clear.
And that has been
And to whom they are paying to?
that has been happening.
It's the school.
It's a school. $150 LD.
And that has
No-
been happening.
Yes, nobody pay a dime in 12th grade. The government of Liberia is paying all 12th graders throughout the length and breadth of the Republic of Liberia.
Okay.
So no 12th grader, no school in
Give
this
physical
republic
cash
should
to-
charge for any 12th grader to pay anything in their school. Now, we come to 9th graders. 9th grader, for the public schools, the public school 9th graders, I want people to understand. Government is taking the responsibility to pay for public schools NAV graders. Are you getting me? So they're not paying anything.
So as the 12 graders, they only pay 150 physically.
Yes.
In cash.
Yes.
To the school.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's all.
Okay.
So the NAV grader public school, you don't pay anything. Government is paying
Now
everything.
to
Only the
to
same-
have that
Only the-
to
let-
have that on the book is one thing, but to know what
Yeah,
the
let me
is
just
happening
finish now.
is
Because people
another
are
thing.
listening. The public school are only paying $1, $150 LD in NAV graders for that processing fee. That's all, but government taking responsibility. For private school, faith-based institution, NAV graders, you pay $5,150.
Directly to
Are
the
you
school.
are you with me?
Directly to the school.
Yes,
the
yes.
school,
The
the
school
school
authority.
have remit that to
To
wire
wire
account.
office.
Oh, okay.
So you pay that. The wire man will make clarity.
Yeah, he will
But
do
wire
clarity.
people serving as policemen, they are on a checkpoint. When I say you qualify because you get to verify all your documentation. Then the sixth grader, you paying 2,000 LD plus $150 for your processing fee. 2,000 LD. The sixth grader, both public and private school, you pay that money.
Directly to the school.
Yes, you paying the money.
Okay, because government not taking.
No.
Okay.
Third grader, both public and private school, you paying 1,000 plus $150 LD, both to the school
Okay.
for that test.
Let's hear Mrs. Smith.
So let's start with the NAV graders. The NAV rate is 5,000, as you already said, plus the approved processing fee that the Ministry of Education has approved. But let's be clear, why only receives 5,000, the 150 will remain at the school for the school to be able to process each student. So why doesn't take 1,000?
So my
5,000?
thing is for all these category of candidates who the government is not taking responsibility to pay their fees. For example, the 6th grade or the 3rd grade. How do they pay? Do they pay to WAEC or do they pay to the school?
The school, there's a school-based exam. So the students pay to the school go to our account and deposit
And
the money
and remit,
and come to the office. We call
No,
it
why not
people
they
will
why the students can just pay to your account?
No,
no, qualified students.
Hello, we deal with schools. We don't deal with students. When it is a school-based exam.
Okay.
For accountability purpose, the school should account for their students. Because if the school pay that to wire account, then the school is going to give the list of students from the school
Okay.
to wire.
Then you will know how much
Yeah.
you got from a student. Then you can do your whole calculation and know how many students.
Yeah.
is
Well, I mean, doing the
qualified.
payment at WIAC, the principal or whoever registrar takes along the list of a school of the students.
Yeah.
And then the amount accumulated.
Yeah.
All are attached to the finance office, and then WIAC give you a receipt after receiving them and counter checking what you gave them.
So let's come down back to you were going up track a
Sure,
little
sure,
bit now.
sure.
Let's come back to the TCC. Before we take course, Commissioner, how long this? Are we in the enforcement stage? Are we? Because you are talking about January. Where are we now? What's the status? And how long this going to last for? Is this the awareness stage or what?
So we started this since October, and it's going to run up to December 31st.
Okay.
So the actual physical, joint enforcement begins in January.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And have schools already been compliant?
They are. A huge number of schools
Yeah,
coming to our office every day to do their permits as well as apply for their tax clearance certificates. Yeah, but I think there's a need for them to step up, as he said. In this country we have the tradition where we always have to wait the 11th hour, and I want to encourage school owners and operators to make sure they do their application and registration the soonest. Because nothing, if you come late, as he said, they will fine you, will pay fees.
Is it just for Mosorado or across the
So
country?
no, it's across the country. It's across the country. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so if you just joined us, you're listening to the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio. With me, Vafle Kamara, we have in studio our guest, Mr. Eddie Howe. He's the Assistant Commissioner for Government and Non-for-Profit Division at the Liberia Revenue Authority. Mr. J. Yama Smith, Head of Internal Audit, WAEC Liberia, Harrison Dawolo, the County Education Officer, Ministry of Education, and G. Maxim Blayton, Director of Communications and Public Relations at the Ministry of Education. So if you want to be a part of the program, if you have concerns, you can call us on 080-514-096, 080-514-096, or 0770-581886, 0770-581886. We already have a caller on the line. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Morning, what's your name?
My name is Aaron Pauli. I come from Bangabong County.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, I have two concerns. One has to do with the issue of the 5,000. Is this government school paying the 5,000? And another one is the fees. This is going to Mr. Blayton. The fees that we can pay as registration fees from at the beginning of the year, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Why is it that the money can be sent to Monrovia? And we are struggling with our teachers are telling us that sometimes some of these remittances are not coming, and we are still paying extra fee for to buy stationery and stuff and other things in the school. Why is it that those things are happening?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So call us on 0770-581886 and be live, or 0770-581886, 080-514-096 and be live right here. Kind of finding it difficult with our Lone Star line. Yeah, so anybody can address the concern, the first concern while we wait the call.
Yeah. You talk about registration fees. Let me let you know that we got people who are responsible for that. And when the registration fees is placed on the platform, the ministry can send it back to the school because we want to have accountability. We're doing this for transparency and accountability. You can't just go and pay money and people just do anything with the money.
Okay.
No. You got to get account of the money. So when the money is here and we know how you're operating, then we send you the money.
Let
That's
me-
what you need
yeah,
to do.
morning, what's the name?
My name is Yokono BK from my call from Bong County District 1.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, my concern is I heard the minister saying private schools, 9th graders, 10th graders, unless the 12th graders are not paying anything for wire.
No. That's a
What
private school.
happens if they are in the know of students paying for ID cards, $10 for ID cards in the private school that I know of?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. You can call us on 080-514-096. Morning. So call us back on 080-514-096 or 0770-581886. Morning.
Good morning, my name is Musa Kane. I call from Yedevi Junction.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, as it relates to the processing fees, my son is in the SD High School, Red DP0, and the information she has in my hand here is $30 for processing fees and CMS fees. I don't know. I'm hearing talking about $1 for processing fees as it relates to why.
Man, you sure that you're talking?
But you say you have the document in your hands,
The
right?
information sheet is very informative here. $30 for CMC and processing fee now free.
Okay.
Okay.
My next concern has to do with Ministry of Education. I remember last year, Ministry of Education talked about, I don't want to, from the beginning of the year, talk about tuition, hacking tuition that were visiting schools to see how they to monitor the hacking tuition. But then, since that time, I don't know how far they have gone with this. I can't remember any punishment for any school around here as it relates to punishment for hacking tuition. Because around here, schools, they hack tuition for no reason, no new facility, nothing to show.
Okay, before you leave the line, just call your number, please.
My numbers are 086-44831.
444
831.
831.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll give you a call afterwards. Thank you. Okay, so I think we'll do that for the concerns and we just go around the table.
Yeah, let me address the issue that has to do with the 30 US dollar for the CMS that we call the customized, they call it on set calculator. Now, that what we're saying, the ministry has approved 150 Liberian for the processing fee. If
For
not-
both public and private.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
For all of
Unless the ministry has approved processing fee of 150 Liberian. Am I right?
Yeah.
Sure. So the caller is saying if it is true, the school is charging 30 US and there is in violation. I think the ministry should take issue. But let me say,
But this is why I've got
That's
Yeah.
why he took his number. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
so-
what you can-
so, so we want to say this again. I guess his child is in the 12th grade. You don't pay anything. You put a simple library English. You don't pay anything
for YFE.
for YFE. Once you're in the 12th
You
grade,
only,
the
you
government
only
is
supposed to pay 150.
150.
150 show. So
150
that
LD.
LD, yeah,
Not
let me-
USO. 150 LD. Just for your processing.
so the government pays the fees for the 12th grader.
And this particular case questions
we are
the
going
Ministry
there
of
now. We carrying the
Mr. Blitten,
journalists.
Mr. Blitten,
Yeah.
this particular case questions the Ministries of Education's monitoring and evaluation of schools across the country. I mean, it seems you have no task force to monitor these schools.
Thank God the CEO is here.
Hey, let me say this, Mr. Kamara. You know, when these issues are unfolding at the various schools, even though we go there, the information will not be, disposed to us. If parents encounter the issues, let them come to our offices with the receipts. Then we can be able to summon these schools and ask them why. Look, our office every day must.
And this is just one of many
Good.
cases
I'm
out
saying
there.
this. Look,
You know.
as I speak to you, every day we are going through cases that parents will take to the ministry and they will forward them to us as county heads. And we sit and deal with them, and parents are satisfied with our decisions. And even the one who violates understand that, well, that's the right procedure. So if people are saying this thing, until you bring it to our attention, look, let's be refrain.
But do you have a session where you can get complaints from parents? I think you need to establish a,
We got
a session.
a hot law. You know,
Yeah, we got a hot law.
1416,
Yeah.
and we get radio program every Sunday
Every
and Wednesday.
Sunday.
Call us and let
And
us know.
besides that, we got the
unfolding.
district education officers are seated in the various district
The
where
different
the
districts,
schools
and
are
we get the
located.
CEOs.
Okay, so
See,
we will.
my
I
thing,
mean,
can I come in?
yeah.
Yeah, from my experience as a certified auditor and a certified financial investigator, most times people make arguments, allegations, and you ask them to come forward with facts. They shy away.
But he said he has that.
Yeah, so at least that's one.
Yeah.
That's a single case.
Yeah, you
but
need
most
to-
times
you
we
need to get-
been on radio, people make allegations. Okay, can you
I
come
got it down, I
forward?
wrote it down.
For me,
Oh, you got
it
the
should be
number?
based on
Yeah,
facts.
get
Yeah,
it.
so that guy will be engaged.
Yeah.
Right.
If
And then
he lives at.
I will also follow up with the process, even though I'm from NRA, but we have a common connection when it comes
Yeah.
to enforcement. So
Yeah.
I will follow up with MOE to make sure this allegation is actually validated. If it is, there should be action taken.
Yeah. So yeah.
And besides that, he called the precise school, he said
And
SDA.
Yeah.
that's
So-
correct.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's it, some school.
Yeah.
Some people can just call and say some school. Call it definite school name, and we'll take the appropriate action. From here, we are proceeding to SDA school right now. We carry journalists along with us. The CEO and myself go in there along with the auditor. We are going to SDA.
Okay. So finally, yeah, I can start with you before I come to the commissioner lastly.
Okay, finally, so let me use this media again to inform all school authority in the Republic of Liberia that a wire registration process has started. Don't wait until it is late. There is a time now you begin to take the children pictures, to process it, and what have you. When the process starts, we on course. We already on course. Don't delay. Come forward. The exam will be sooner than what it was last year. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Say, go ahead.
Okay. Fabio wants to say thank you so much for being very professional. We also want to thank the callers and those of you listening right now. We want you to be specific when you call, just as the brother did. If we all can do that, we make it Liberia to be a place, a very, very good place that is accountable, transparent, and we want to encourage all of us to begin to be responsible. The responsible people who pay for the operational permit. You can't be in this country, you be operating illegally. It is not right. You are defying government. You need to stop that and be a responsible citizen. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let's hear from you.
Thank you for having this team in your coaching studio this morning. And let me say this to our listening public. The window is opened for permit processing payment as we go right now. It closes by next month, December. Please, don't wait till we come to your school and enforce it. Do gently as we have opened the window for you. If we come to your school and if you don't do it, the law will take a course. And to say this again to parents who are having this experience in various schools where there are fees that they are paying that they are not satisfied with, our offices have opened. Let me say this. We have 2 county education officers in Maserado. I am Maserado 2, and we have Maserado 1. In those various areas, we have DEOs. We got about 26 DEO in Maserado County. And we have our offices open to everyone who have an issue. Come, if there is issue confronting you at the school level, bring them to us. We will sit and then find a common ground and a pathway to see how we can mitigate these problems that are affecting your children at the school level. We say thank you to our moderator for this program.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's hear from you, Commissioner.
So I want to use this opportunity to encourage all school owners, operators. The processes are on. Come forward. The LRA business processes and procedures are flexible. No matter how much you owe government of Liberia in terms of taxes, there are always windows where we can give you installments. And our TCC platform are also friendly and easy to use. And we have category of tax clearances, right? So once you apply and you make your minimum contribution, we will. So we have provisional just to make you do your registration. It's 30 days, and we also have 60 days, and we got 90 days, depending on your level of compliance. So no matter what the situation is, there will always be tax clearance for you to do your school permit and other fees payments. So come forward. And what we've done also, there are schools that operate in this country, and then they tell you they don't have computers. So we have 2 desktops designated at the government non-for-profit at the LRA. Come, and you will be allowed to use those desktops to file your tax return, just to make the process workable for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, he's Commissioner Eddie Howe. He's the Assistant Commissioner for Government and Non-for-Profit Division at the Liberia Revenue Authority. You listen to Harrison Dawolo, the County Education Officer at the Ministry of Education, J. Nyama Smith, Head of Audit or Internal Audit at WAEC Liberia, and J. Maxim Platon, Director of Communications at the Ministry of Education.